much to Ava's Manor for sponsoring today's video. So I'm here in my relatively new apartment, and as you know, I have 50 million ideas of things that I want to do, but I am so slow to getting to them. And I know that part of it is because I have ADHD, and that is just something that is never going to go away. I've never been more motivated or more excited about what I'm doing ever in my life, and yet at the same time I am struggling so much. And that's okay, because I think that anything that is good and worthwhile and is of value to you, you're probably going to struggle a little bit with it. This is just like, sometimes it can be hard and a little bit debilitating. And that's kind of where this series comes in. Homemade Happy was intended to share with you the day-to-day journey as my projects come to life. And the intention was that you would find interest in it, and my hope and prayer is that you do find interest in it, because this series is also a gift to myself. This is the first time that I'm actually able to find focus and do things in a more task-by-task fashion. Obviously, I still have to pre-plan a lot of stuff, but especially when it comes to filming and editing, I can do it chronologically, and it has so much better flow for me in the way that I work and operate. So I'm really genuinely so excited about this series. I'm so glad that you guys are watching. Honestly, it's like the biggest blessing for me, so thank you so much. And along the lines of, taking you along with things, I do have some exciting things planned this week. I think I want to start with the bathroom. There are a couple, so I love the bathroom as is. There's so many things about it I love. I love the size of it. I love the storage. I love the vanity. I just think it needs a little bit of sprucing up because I have so many ideas for it as well. And the number one flashing idea that I have is to do the floors. And I have a really cool idea for it. I'm not 100% sure whether it's going to work out 100% to plan. It never goes to plan, but I'm going to head to Home Depot. I'm going to take you with me, and I will share more about what I have in my mind. Okay, so there's a tile right up here, if you see it, that I think looks really good and has some potential. Someone actually pulled out a tile from the box. It wasn't me, okay, but it's here. And this is what it looks like, which I think is really nice. I have an idea for it, so I'm gonna get it. And yet I hope in your heart that when we are apart, you feel me. You know from the start that nothing's gonna break my love for you, babe. You can't keep. Okay, so I have something extremely exciting planned for these tiles, and that is to do herringbone with them. I don't know if it's really 100% gonna work, but I'm gonna give it a go. Now here's the tricky part. When I was undoing the peel and stick floor in my last apartment, it left such a bad sticky residue. I just don't wanna deal with that when I move into this place. I cannot. So much stick is left on here. It is unbelievable. I literally spent the last 3 weeks thinking about this in my spare time. What I could put down underneath the flooring to make it so that no sticky residue would be left, because apparently painter's tape, masking tape, electrical tape, all the normal tapes will leave a sticky residue if it's there for a long time, and also if it's exposed to like high heat, if you're taking a hot shower or humidity, stuff like that. I just don't want to deal with it. But then I started researching vinyl tape, and I found that 3M makes a vinyl tape that is really special. It's meant for marking floors in like warehouses and stuff like that, and apparently it's supposed to have no residue. So I picked it up in 2 sizes, 4 inches and 1 inch. This is just like the least cost to do the whole square footage situation in the bathroom. But yeah, it's a vinyl tape. It's kind of expensive, but if it works, it's worth it. So I'm going to literally cover the entire floor with this tape first. Now, if when I end up moving out, this leaves a sticky residue, I am going to lose it. But I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope that 3M comes to the rescue with none of that, okay? So I'm gonna get going to covering the floor. my knee pads on. Okay. So this is definitely gonna be easier as a two-person job, I can already tell. Bart?
Yeah?
You come. Good morning. It is now the next day, and today we're going to lay down the tile. So let me just show you what all the vinyl tape looks like now that it's all done. It is a little bit crazy looking, but I think it's gonna work. So all of this is like covered with clear vinyl tape, and then the black stuff we use to do a few sections in here, here, and behind the toilet. However, every other section has tape on it that's just clear. So now we can go ahead and put down the tiles, and I've just been doing a little bit of thinking about the sizing for the herringbone design, as well as like how it's all gonna work with the layout, and I think I figured it out, so I'm gonna go grab a tile and show you. Okay, so for the herringbone design, I figured out that I think what I wanna do is cut these tiles into 4-inch sections, and since this is 24 inches long, I'll get 6 tiles per one tile, and then we'll be able to lay them out, and I think it'll be a really nice design. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and cut them. Hopefully this will be pretty easy to do. I've heard that if you just score it, the tiles will snap, so we'll see. Moment of truth, you guys. It snapped perfectly. So many tiles cut, you guys. That's my pile. This is Par's pile. He's still at it. How's it going?
Better than yours. Mine are more accurate.
That is untrue, and also I've done so many more than you. Thank you very much. So I am literally going a little bit cross-eyed as I'm laying these down. It's so easy to mess up the pattern for some reason. I don't know if it's just me, but it really is easy to mess up the pattern. So make sure that you double check as you're laying it down, and make sure that you also just like lay it down first to get the hang of the pattern before you peel off the backing and stick it down. So here's what it's looking like, just all laid down with the big pieces. So far, so good. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next is actually start in the middle of the bathroom and peel off the first tile, and then I'm planning to surround the tile with these spacers. Bear in mind, I've never laid tile of any kind ever in my life, but we'll see how it goes. So the spacers that I got are 1/8 of an inch. Let's see how this goes. Spacers. That's your place as an assistant in the shower, hidden. You can feel some tiles.
Okay, Google, play the Certified Lover Boy album by Drake.
Playing the album Certified Lover Boy on Spotify.
Okay, so a little update for you. The tiles are taking longer than expected to put down, and I need a break. So we're gonna go to Dairy Queen. I got a Blizzard strawberry cheesecake, and I'm so excited about it. And he got one too.
Back to work.
Fashion. Okay, so now all the main tiles are laid, like the full tiles, and I'm gonna have to get to filling in all the spots around the entire perimeter where I need to make cuts so that they fit. But I think I figured out a way that's like not too hard to cut them. Take a piece of brown craft paper, use my nail. So this is kind of the gist of what we're working with here. The place is a disaster from this project, what can I say, okay? Anyway, so I'm gonna cut out the little shape. I'm gonna do a quick little test. And it fits in perfectly. I'm nervous. I was supposed to go in here. It's perfect. I mean, obviously the edges are a little rough, but like, that's fine. I'm now just removing all of the spacers because like I keep stepping on them and it's just driving me insane, and the tiles are stuck down and I don't think they're gonna move. What do you have for me? Thank you for my snack. So while I eat my snack, I'm going to take a break. And one thing I've been loving to do during my breaks is playing this game called Ava's Manor. It is free to download using the link in my description box. And thank you so much to Ava's Manor for sponsoring today's video. This game that has the perfect combination of like romance, entertainment, mystery, like everything wrapped into one. And basically it follows this character named Ava. And out of nowhere, she finds out that her long lost relative has disappeared but left her with this huge estate that is super dilapidated. And the whole point of the game is basically to go through the storyline and find out what actually happened to her relative, while at the same time renovating and refinishing the estate, which is really, really fun from a decor and renovation perspective. And the way that you do this and the way that you go through it is by playing games of Solitaire Tri-Peaks. Now, Solitaire is like, if you know me from when I was young, Solitaire was like my go-to game. I would play it all the time. I was so good at it, so fast. I was talking to my husband the other day about this because we literally play it together. I've gotten him hooked. So we take turns playing the Solitaire games and we need to both be there while we're playing so that we can follow the storyline together. And I was telling him that this game is literally the best mix between like almost like a game, a TV show, and a book wrapped into one. And I don't even understand how it's even possible, but that is what it is, and I love it so much. So I highly recommend it. It's so entertaining, and it's free to download, clicking the link in my description box. I am going to go off and play Ava's Manor for a little while with my husband, because like I mentioned, we need to both be there for the storyline and to switch the games back and forth, even though I sneak and play more rounds of Solitaire than he does. So yeah, I'm gonna go do that, and then after my little break, back to doing the floors. Yay! I literally cannot believe that I've just laid the last tile. That is unbelievable to me. This took so much longer than I expected. I feel like I picked the hardest pattern ever. I mean, it's totally worth it, I think. Well, we'll see after we grout it, but it's worth it if you're gonna stay in a place for a while, or if this is your actual home, you're gonna apply this in like the non-renter friendly way. But I just didn't anticipate it taking this long. I don't know why. I thought like, oh, I'll just lay these in a day. Incorrect, I was wrong. But hopefully it's all gonna be worth it. Tomorrow I'm gonna grout, so going on day like 4 or something. So I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. It's yet another day. So yesterday at like midnight, I laid the last tile down. I thought I was gonna start grouting like 2 days ago. And in addition, to all the people online that said that they did herringbone flooring like as a permanent solution and it only took them 3 hours, they are lying. That is literally impossible. So far it's looking so cool, like definitely way more cool than just like standard tiles. And it looks much more high-end, and the actual quality of the tiles is a lot better than floor pops. I can just tell right off the bat, it just feels more premium. But at the same time, it's just taking ages. I don't know, I just wasn't anticipating this. However, it's fine. Okay, so on to the grouting. I initially was gonna do a gray grout, so that's initially what I picked up from Home Depot. However, because I didn't do all the cuts with the most accuracy and because of the actual finish in here, like the vanity is a little bit more traditional, the color of the wall is cream, I feel like white is going to be a little bit more sleek in finish and a little bit more minimal and just look better than gray, because I feel like the gray is gonna stand out a little bit too much. So yesterday I picked up this grout in bright white. Is it focused? I can't tell. But yeah, this grout in bright white. If you're in the US, there is actually a vinyl tile grout sold at Lowe's, I think, and also at Home Depot, so do what you will. Oh, I also got a couple other things. A grout rubber float and a microfiber sponge. And that's all you need to grout. Actually, the bucket needs to be filled with water, but let's just start. So I think it's gonna make sense to start like behind the toilet. Oh, not the consistency I was expecting. This stuff comes right up. I don't know why I was expecting something thicker. I guess that makes sense for why you only need the rubber float then. Interesting, okay. This is fun compared to laying the tiles down. So to elaborate on my current process, I'm not going right against the wall. I don't want to get grout on the side trim. So I'm gonna figure that out next, because as usual, DIYs never go like 100% the plan. This is supposed to be easy, and I think it would have been if I had used just the transparent tape and put it up on the edge of the trim. That's what I would do next time. So yeah, what I'd recommend to you. So I'm just not going to the exact edge of the wall, and I will find a solution somehow. So are you ready for the magic? I rinse it out really well. And then I kind of do this thing again. said that it was okay. Why is that song stuck in my head? I will say it is like so much faster if you have help. Just the process of like washing off the sponge, and even if you use a bucket, you have to change the water that's in that bucket. Okay, I've just discovered near the end of what I'm doing that if you take a huge amount of this stuff and start with that to begin with, and then like wipe most of it away, it's way faster. So now you know. Oh my goodness, you guys. I love it, I love it, I love it. This was 10 out of 10, worth it for sure.